So, in a time like this, it's always good to know, like, if you can hear somebody that can preach so you can see some truth. And Jesus said we're trees. So that's a good thing to keep in mind. If we are trees, then, sorry, I'm a little crooked here. You know what I'm saying? I try to fix my hair a bit, put a ponytail in so I'm not too rough. Do you see what I'm saying? So, if you're needing some good teaching because you've been out of it for a while, it's all good. I'm not trying to put my finger here because there's a lot of bad teaching, like 90% right now. So, focus. You want to get something that's going to get you closer to the King, and thinking right, and there's a lot of doctrinal divides everywhere. So, it's really good to, get some good preaching in. So, you can find Mike Connell on YouTube, and you can find Matthew Nolan. And keep in mind that we are trees. That's what Jesus said. And if you think about it, a tree never talks, okay? So if we are trees, that means what goes in here stays in here more than what comes out of here. But one of the things that makes it really hard for this part to go in here and stay in here and not, come out somewhere, it has to do with what fits in here, and that's when it's truth. See, because when you get lied to, you get in these, cobwebs, and they're really comfy. And that's not good. So, whatever anybody's teaching you, walk away. Just walk away. And it's all good because it's a spider web and it's blurring your eyes and your ears from hearing truth. Okay? It's very important because this is one thing you have to remember. Well, there's a couple things. So, you have to focus on the fact that it's easier to deceive someone than to convince them they've been deceived. So maybe that's why I'm so ugly. So you can't think that I'm trying to rip you off. Because I don't have all these things. You see what I'm saying? I don't have a fancy church. I don't have all these people that love me. But that might be really good right now because, see, there's a lot of people that are loved by a lot of people, but they don't know God or the King. They know a God, and just like they're all trying to point their finger, oh, that's a cult. They're praying to a God, not the real God. Well, you know what? I think they're all praying to a God, but it's not the King. So, if you get some good teaching, like those two, and read some real books or audio books, like George MacDonald, Unspoken Sermons, you can find it. I don't know if you can find an audio book, but I'm sure you can find it on usedhalf.com. And then you can get George MacDonald, Unspoken Sermons, C.S. Lewis, Screwtape Letters. Huge right now. Huge. Because it'll show you what's happening with all these fearmongers and why they talk the way they do. Because this is the same old tricks they've always done. They've been doing it since, days of Noah days. Before that, since Adam and Eve. These guys got lots of experience. See, that's the thing. Because, like we were saying, it's easier to deceive than convince someone they've been deceived. So once those cobwebs get to a certain point, you just get blinder than that screen. You see what I'm saying? So it's really hard to, it's kind of wild that Jesus came and was saying all these wild things, and he's doing these miracles about healing people and helping them to see. But maybe a lot of the people were getting healed. Do you see what I mean? Spiritually, so they could see, because his words were too amazing they couldn't believe their ears. Because if you think about it, he was ripping them off. I mean, when he came, he was homeless, and they were all ripping everybody off for money. And he came and said, you guys are dens of thieves. If you just would have followed the two greatest commandments, we wouldn't even need all the law and the prophets. And so they killed him. So isn't it funny that if we could just follow those two great things again, then that would be like making it ready for the king. So it's like these things are so simple that people that have been so deceived by for so long thinking you have to do all these things, otherwise you're going to burn hell forever. And so the fear-mongering has been going on for years and years, when if you were God, I mean, you got to think a little bit. Don't make yourself God, but go from the other side of it. You see what I mean? Because a lot of people are thinking they're God, but in the wrong way. Take the whole Days of Noah thing and look at it and think, wait a minute. If I created the whole world and I got so mad with these people because they got so messed up that they're all killing each other, so I just put them all in the sea and drowned them all, started over, told them, hey, start loving each other, like love your neighbor as yourself, and told them what to do, and they still just kept playing games and lying to each other and stabbing each other in the back and doing the same thing. So if you saw it again and again, wouldn't you be like, can't they just follow the original plan? And if you knew the king was in charge and it was God's son, which if you're thinking you're God, he's gonna run it right because he's already God, and most agree with that idea, especially after he came from the dead, unless you're still on that Jesus boiling shit idea, which is total shit. I'll say it full on because that's what it is. And I'm afraid about 90% of pastors are following that wide road, which is an antichrist road. So if you can't see it yet, I don't know what to say, but I've laid lots of seed and I just don't know. You know, I can take a horse to water, but if he's too muzzled to drink, then wow, it's really sad we've got that far. But this is what I'm saying, is don't get too mad if people won't listen and they just can't see, because that might be a be smart heart already. I don't know exactly how that works, but there is some kind of huge hypnosis going on right now, okay? Right now. And Zombieland is already here, no matter what anybody tells you. It's already here. The zombies are everywhere, literally. So if you want to be like part of that zombie train, you just keep doing what you've been doing. But otherwise, why don't you read some of these books and kind of wake up and like smell the coffee? Because wow, life would go a lot better if you're working for a king than if you're like sitting around this princely reign trying to figure it all out. Because I don't care if these guys are for Trump or who they're for. They're just BSers. Like that stupid PPNS reporter, whatever that crap is on YouTube. I can't even believe that guy. He shills like every 5 minutes, and then he has like 10 minutes on his Obama, his King Tut books. Like, okay, whatever, dude. Come on, really? So, hey, maybe that's true. I don't know, but what I'm telling you is that guy, he's on the rapture train too, and that's a runaway train. I'm telling you, it's a wide road, and many are on it, and they're like, oh yeah, rapture's for real. Yeah, it's real, all right, but it's about the king coming to get people in his kingdom, and if you're thinking you're going to be beamed up, you'll be beamed up, all right, but by Scotty. I don't know if you've heard, his ashes are still in that urn up at the International Space Station, supposedly. So maybe he's like working on a plan with the king or the princess. I don't know, but I wouldn't want to be on that train. Because that lines up with all this fear-mongering and the frozen stuff that they got to shoot you up with to keep you cold-blooded forever. And wow, for 1,000 years, I could see how one of these advanced vaccines could be like that. You know what I mean? Especially with all the fear-mongering. So, you know, maybe those fear-mongers and their type will just all go to that planet and have quite a life. Because as your faith is, so it will be given you. So make your bed, bud. It's all up to you, bro. So I'm really like, I don't like to be pushy, and I'm not trying to be a nag, but I'm just trying to get you to wake up out of that coma you might be in. And if you could help somebody else by doing the same thing, by just simplifying things a whole lot, and stop pointing fingers at everything and everyone, because if you think about it, that's probably not what, if you were God, you'd want. You don't want divider and chiefs and calling them churches. That's not right. You know, if they were like, hey, you know, think about it. If you did have churches and you were God, wouldn't it be nice if like all the churches got together and like, hey, let's have like a big picnic at the park, and all the churches will come and we'll all say, we believe the same thing. It's so good to be here and eat together and worship our King. You know what I mean? That's just like, doesn't that seem like what you would want if you were God? I mean, oh no, let's just have all these divider and chiefs, which is what we've pretty much come to now. And they're like so advanced in their doctrines, like John MacArthur's bullshit. I just want to debate him in person. You know, like just watch him just destroy himself and all his stupid shit, and just give him like full chapters of the Bible to burn him up like nothing. So here's the thing. If you want to read the Bible and like get your understanding up, read a full chapter at the time. Don't read one verse. Anybody should know that. So simple things like that. And audio Bible, the book of Matthew, and wow, you'll get to know the King, and you'll see why he was killed and why he's being deleted now, because he was not a fan of churches at all. And he was always exposing them. That's why they kept trying to kill him, and he kept having to like do a disappearing act. There was a few times where they actually wanted to like get him in the crowd and take him in the back and like, you know, give him the old Julius Caesar thing, and he just vanished. I don't know exactly the details on that. That was a miracle thing, but the thing is that it's happening again, because I'm kind of feeling like there's a few that would like me to vanish, and I'm not trying to get too far here. Don't get carried away. I'm just saying that beware when all men speak good of you, and I'm not having to beware that. So it's all good. I'm not trying to like say I'm Jesus or anything. Get off all that crap. I'm just trying to say that if I am his follower, at least I'm following the way he taught, and not doing all these weird things and coming up with weird doctrines of men that make sons of hell. I'm just looking at what he said and reading the Bible as much as I did. So just relax and read these things and listen to the Bible at night. It's really good to help you sleep, you know? Man, I've had nights, I'm telling you, I don't know if I can get through this night. And I put the Bible on, and wow, it gives you peace like nothing at all. You put Psalm 1 on, and you'll wake up to like Psalm 140 or something after sleeping all night. And wow, you want to talk about a peace? Even if you had it going like a little volume so you could barely hear it, but you still got it going in the background, it still gets in there, see? Because originally, back in Jesus' day, nobody thinks about this, but they didn't read or have Bibles at home like you do now. So, see, with that Bible comes like responsibility, because there is a thing in the Bible that says, to whom much is given, much is required. And we've got a lot, but there's a lot of BS. And if you just read the Bible that we're given, it's just that one book that they almost deleted, and it's still around now, so you might as well like suck it up while you can. Because it's only by studying it all those years that I got out of those spider webs, because I've been in them for a long time. So I'm not trying to like point my finger at any of you and say you're a dimwit. I'm saying just come out of the fog, because that's what I was stuck in, and it took me a long time to keep reading the Bible and looking and thinking and praying and seeing things. And then when I saw some of the things lately, especially during this Egyptian mockery, well, I wondered if it is King Tut again or if it's time for the king. So you can take your pick, but I'm really getting back into that old song. Imagine there's no heaven. It's easy if you try. That's what's going to happen when the king comes. So just be happy, read these things, listen to the word, and pray a bit secretly, like the king said. So you're being like a bride that wants to be alone with this man before she marries, you know. I mean, it's simple stuff. Yeah, you know, it's not like, oh, honey, I'm your love. I've been cheating on you and acting like a dead mummy, but I'm sure he'll take me now because I'm saved by grace. See? No, that's not a good scene. See, especially if you're one of these places that's been teaching about a Satan, a Jesus that boils and shit. No, that's not the one you want to be at. See? You want to be, like, ready for him. And he's coming with just one piece of cloth over him, which will be probably, you know, I'm guessing right there, and not a lot else. And he's coming to, like, you know, make things right with that double-edged sword, which might be his tongue, but it might be both. You know what I mean? Because he could have a real one too. It's just whatever you want to do. It's all up to you. So, have a nice day and say thanks to your king for all that he's done and all that he's doing. And wake up out of the fog that you might be in, because you need good teaching, and that'll wake you up. So, giving you plenty there, and I'm almost up to that 20-minute mark, which I know is TMI for so many. But it's okay, because you're learning now, right? You're on the king's team. So it's all good. Just keep working on it, little by little. All you agents and things, just keep it up and work for that king.